up, we've got a battle between two storied franchises in a series that dates back to 1950. The 49ers have won 6 of the last 9 against the Packers, including 3 playoff wins. It's Week 3, next on Sunday night.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they loved their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Gaudin, as always, joined by my good friend Charles Davis. As CD, you look at the Niners in this matchup, they have a tremendous aerial attack, one of the best in the league. But they're going to face a stiff test here.
I don't think that they'll face a tougher test all season long because this is the #1 defense in the NFL. A team that puts a lot of pressure on a quarterback. And we know from talking to both of these teams, neither of them is going to back down from this challenge.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. We get our first look now at Aaron Rodgers in his 17th season now with the Green Bay Packers, and of course coming off a great 2020 where he took home the MVP trophy.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The numbers for Jones last week, 16 carries, 92 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 18. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a 1st down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Now Rodgers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. 4th down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage. The kick by Crosby is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This will be fielded inside the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The 49er offense coming out here for the first time, led by their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo, 5th season with the 49ers, 8th overall in the National Football League.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on first down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage with the big man setting the tone physically.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Now Garoppolo. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. There are the numbers for Samuel from that game last week. 7 catches, 93 yards, and a score. On play action, it's Garoppolo.
And we're starting to see some consistency being established here, because if you do it once, some people might count it as a fluke, but if you do it a second time, you're starting to think maybe he's got it going. And that's exactly where he appears to be headed.
And they'll run. This is Trey Sermon. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. First man through, it's the fullback Juszczyk. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they're going to stop him short of the first down as he's tackled at about the 21. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Kyle Shanahan's made the decision. They're going on 4th down. Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Buying time to his left. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 23 yards, the final tally. Running right, Jones. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Of course we think of Aaron Rodgers as a pocket passer, but you and I both know this guy's a pure athlete. He can get outside and make plays with his legs as well.
I showed it right there, outside of the pocket and on the money. Jones with a nice burst there on first down as he'll be taken down, but not before a gain of 7 yards. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers sliding out of the pocket. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. Steps away to his left. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up first and goal inside the 10.
Here's Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Davante Adams, the intended receiver. But it'll be second and goal.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
On second and goal, Rodgers to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Again, he was looking for Davante Adams, but now it's third and goal. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Crosby puts it through, and they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think...
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender. From there, he doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And he's got it to make it now 13-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. George Kittle and the Niners ready for their next drive. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Another try after the first down sack. Garoppolo. This will be caught at Samuel. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Garoppolo. A gain there of 21 yards. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Dean Lowry. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in Houston. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Deshaun Watson, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Derrick Henry, well over 100 yards on the ground with a pair of touchdown runs. And finally, on Monday Night Football, bitter rivals in the NFC East. The Eagles and Cowboys from Arlington at 8:15 Eastern Time. And on now to a check on the next-gen stats in that first half for the Packers. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they too didn't do a whole lot in terms of rushing efficiency in that first half, as you can tell by the numbers there. Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down. On the quick handoff, it's Juszczyk. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And that's why that position was created. Big, powerful, strong guy who can carry the ball and plow forward. That's exactly why you have him on the field.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he is going to have a Niners first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7. To throw is Garoppolo. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now a handoff, Sermon. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So here are the Packers now to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. Second and 6. Now Rodgers lets it fly deep for Cobb. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
I don't know what the heck he was.
Ouch, you thought you had the defensive stand. Roughing the passer wipes it out.
What does every defense talk about? 3 and out, right? Thought they were able to get off the field. Not so.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. Second down now. Throwing now is Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Adams.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Rodgers going to go on fourth down. This one to the sideline. He's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a first down. A big pickup of 12 yards on fourth down to keep this drive from stalling. Now a first down carry by Jones. Down to about the 22 here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Again, it's Jones. Shoves him aside, and he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 42 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because they're built.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a two-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
That's true. You've said that before. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Dean Lowry able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. The Niners on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be third and forever. We'll check on his status when we get back. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Now
Garoppolo, gotta have this one. And able to haul it in is Kittle. Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle. 36 yards. And the Niners are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 78 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. Aaron Jones, not one of the bigger backs in the league, 5'9", 208, but he's definitely what you'd call a downhill runner, and he's able to shed the tacklers there for good yardage.
Yeah, in this part of the game, the 4th quarter, this is where a running back really has a chance to shine. This is what they've been training for, to take over the game down the stretch. The defense, it's been battered all game long. And here, this is just a case of a runner imposing his will and deciding he didn't want to be tackled right there.
Got to be feeling confident they're going to get off the schneid. An old coach told me he calls this a relief win. 0-3 would have been bad. You get to 1-2, you feel a lot better, don't you?
That is so true, and you feel better about yourself. You think to yourself, okay, we're still in the playoff hunt. We're not out of it at 0-3. But the other part, too, it leads to doubt about your system, leads to doubt about your coaches. They don't have to worry about that now. They can move forward.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Let's go. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Deebo Samuel was a revelation for the 49ers in their run to the NFC Championship in his rookie year of 2019. Injuries kept him to just 7 games last year, but he brings a dimension of creativity when he's out on the field, and he makes a nice catch there for a first down.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo, he's going to let it fly. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to, but as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Out to his left. Looking deep for Adams. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
Now here's a throw that's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And it's complete to Adams. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Rodgers throwing here. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers rolling to his right. He'll dump this down to Dillon. That's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. Well, I'm sure he likes this performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes. These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And he's got it. Pushing his way through. Touchdown. Randall Cobb from 10 yards out. And the Packers might be headed to the win column for the first time in 2021 as they add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that will bump the lead up to 26. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Open man is Ayuk, complete. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Finding Samuel. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. One final try now for Garoppolo. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown. And that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Green Bay, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.